What's going on, YouTubers? This is Omar from Near Mint Condition, and today I'm going to show you my haul for November of 2018. So please stay tuned. So let's take a look at some of these books here on top. This is BPRD Hell on Earth Volume 3. I believe we've got 2 more volumes coming out soon. I don't like to flip too much through these because I have not read them yet. I only read them in collected editions, so let's just look through some of the art. I don't mind looking through the illustrations in the back, though. Some of the sketches and black and white art, because I love looking at that stuff. Yeah, this is stuff I haven't read, so I'm not really gonna flip too much through this. I think there's gonna be 5 volumes in total before they go into the next BPRD series, and I hope that gets collected in hardcover, so we don't have a long way to go. And here's the stuff I was talking about. The sketches, the black and white stuff, the original concept, and sometimes you get covers, unused artwork, Magnola stuff. Some of these characters are going to be in the next Hellboy movie. And up here is Tan Popo by Camilla Derico. I assume that's how you say her name. I took a gamble on these. These were 40% off on top of this price right here at Half Price Books. This was during Black Friday. I'd always been curious about these books, mainly because of that manga-ish artwork. But I want to say it's a French book translated into English, so it's been pretty interesting so far. I've read the first half of the first book, so all of this. I haven't dove into the second book yet, so I don't want to get too much through here, but this is what the artwork looks like. It's really pretty. Kind of reminds me a little bit of, this is pretty cool, it's a slipcase, Range Murata stuff. So they're from Boom Studios, they're both hardcover, but this one came in a slipcase. And, you know, I can't pass up on pretty artwork, even if the story is just crap or doesn't make any sense. The artwork makes up for that price. It's, as you can see. Anyway, it's up my alley, it's really pretty. But yes, it reminds me of Range Murata, the guy that did Lane, and did a lot of the character designs for animes in the late 90s, early aughts. Last Exile, Nier, Zero Experimental Lane is the one that I remember the most, though. So, those 2 books I have already done an overview of in separate videos, so if you want to check those out, please do so. They're on the channel. And let's move on to this set of books here. First up, we got Angel, Last Angel in Hell. This is the, is this After Fall? Can't remember. This is the stuff by IDW. I got this for a friend of mine, co-host of the show, Maddie. So, early Christmas gift, because she was missing it from her set. I found it at a comic book store in Indianapolis. Next up, we have the canceled, resolicited, then canceled again, then resolicited again, Green Arrow Rebirth Volume 1. I believe this collects the first 12 issues and the Rebirth issue. I really, really enjoy this run. Let me show you what the under the dust jacket looks like. So it does collect Rebirth 1 and only Green Arrow 1 through 11. This is the stuff by Ben Percy, and it's the stuff drawn by Odo Schmidt. I really like this stuff because this is the stuff that reunites Ollie with Black Canary. So I've always been a big fan of them, especially when Judd Winnick got them together and married, and this off again, on again thing. But then New 52 kind of revamped that story, and she was no longer part of the picture, so I'm kind of glad in Rebirth that they were brought back together. I really like them both in the same title. So yes, this is hopefully one of more. As you can see, it's got a new spine. The spine is different than the Rebirth spine, so maybe they'll keep going with this, and maybe they'll resolicit other volumes like they had canceled before. Like Aquaman, hint hint, DC. I figured they owe me something for canceling my Impulse Omnibus and my Green Lantern Kyle Rayner Volume 3 trade paperback that I had pre-ordered. So anyway, that's another temper tantrum I can throw later on. This is Rat Queens Volume 2, the deluxe hardcover edition by Image Comics. This collects the second set of stories, Volume 2, I believe. So yes, this collects Volume 2, Issues 1 through 10, and then the one-shot special Orc Dave. Now, the writer is still the same, but the artist has changed, but I really dig this art collection of artwork here, though. It's different artists, as you can tell. but I like each one. It's different enough, and they still have that cartoonish and fantastical look to their artwork. So I think they make it work. It reminds me of Cuphead, or those old 30s cartoons that are creepy. Yeah, my wife is the one that's a big fan of this. I have to admit, I haven't really read it much. So, let's see. This is one that had me curious for a long time, and I'll talk about the book in the back too as well, because I made a mistake and ordered that first. So I had to go back and get this. So this is Sky Doll by Barbushi Canepa. Also a French book, I believe, translated into English. So this is the hardcover. This collects collects stories 0 through 3. Yeah, here they are. And then I guess the after stories here. So when I ordered the big one back there, I thought it was this incomplete edition with oversized artwork, but no, it's not. That is actually volume 4, and we'll look at that in a little bit. So as you can tell, it's probably mature content, but done in a cartoony kind of way. I have never read this, but I have been told to read it for many years, and I finally get to do so. I finally jumped the gun and went ahead and bought the hardcover, even though they're different dimensions, but I really, really like the artwork, and that's what pushed me to get this. I'll just flip through here a little bit more so you can see a little bit more of that art. The colors are beautiful, and yeah. I remember seeing the covers before, and I thought they were just a collection of art books, but apparently there's a story. I've been a damn fool for not reading these before. So I will be checking them out. Hopefully, wow. That is gorgeous. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Fiona Staples, the lady that draws Saga. Yeah, this is the covers here in the back. This is the stuff I've seen. There's just different artists. Wow. I could just do a damn show on this art here. But anyway, that's Sky Doll. Let me get the other one out. I figured to do it justice, I'd have to pull this out. So I've already talked about Transmetropolitan. So let me pull that out to do a size comparison. This is an absolute Transmetropolitan. And as you can see, the book is significantly bigger. It's a lot thinner because I believe it's only 60-something pages. This is from Titan Books. So this is volume 4 of Sky Doll. It's called the Sudra. Kind of wish I had gotten them all in this format, but this is gorgeous. I was looking at this first. Actually, I started reading this first, and I'm like, I am so lost. So then doing a little bit of research, turned out that this is volume 4. So that's why it didn't make any sense. But look at this. This is beautiful. And the dimensions make this worthwhile. The amount of details and colors. Yeah, like I said, I could have done a whole episode on these two books. I don't know why I didn't. But, alright, let's move on. So next up, we have the library edition of Harrow County. This is the Cullen Bunn and Tyler Crook book. I really like how soft this dust jacket is. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like the inside of the Goon. It's weird to describe. This is what the inside looks like. Oh, here, let me show you the spine here. Sorry. And then the back of the jackets. It's a horror story. A friend of mine, Jess Bragg, the Omni Dog, recommended it. And he said I would really enjoy it. I haven't read it, but flipping through here, it looks like it's right up my alley. It's got a lot of creepy horror elements. Kids, and you throw horror in there, that makes for a damn good story. So this is Harrow County. I haven't read it, so I don't want to spoil anything for myself, but that's what this is. It is an ongoing series, I think. I don't know if it's over or not. I know there's 8 trade paperback volumes, and I think this just collects the first 3 trades. So maybe there's going to be a total of 3 of these library editions. I hope they keep going. Now, In-Stock Trades went out of stock for a little bit, but they pulled it back in stock, and I think it went out of stock a second time, so I don't know what's going on with that. Dark Horse has been really weird with their shipping. Speaking of Dark Horse, we all know the story of King Conan. That was freaking impossible to get. I had to resort to getting it from Amazon. Boom Power Rangers Year 2, I ended up getting at Walmart. That one there. So these books here, I've already done an overview of in separate videos, so please feel free to check those out. And let me check out these back here in the back. So I finally jumped the gun and got Gotham Central Omnibus. I've had the hardcovers for a while, but the price came up really good in the Facebook group that I'm part of, the trade swap community group where we trade and sell omnibuses and hardcovers and absolutes, especially those that are out of print. And I had to get it. The price was too good, and I went ahead and upgraded. I love this. Is probably my favorite Greg Rucka book, even though it's co-written, I know, by Ed Brubaker. But this is phenomenal. If you don't know what the story of Gotham Central is, it's the story of the police department in Gotham City. But it's so much better than that because there's a day shift and a night shift, and it really doesn't focus on the superhero aspects of things. It focuses on the real life events that happen to the police officers. I say that as I flip through here, and it actually has the one big supervillain story, which is the Joker story. But even then, it focuses more on the characters, the cops, their lives, and the reality and how gruesome it would be to be a police officer in Gotham, and the aftermath of a crime after a freaking psychopath has frozen people or brainwashed them. It is a damn good read. If you've never read this, do yourself a favor, because this is still in stock. Out of all the things that I bought this month, this is my probably highest recommendation. It just took me a long time to finally upgrade my hardcovers. Those were out of print for a long time too. So that might be the cheapest way to go if you want to try that out. I know they also have trade paperbacks. But again, this was written by Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka. And it's got wonderful artwork by artists like Michael Lark, who, as you probably know, worked with Brubaker and Rucka in other projects. Next up, we have American Vampire Omnibus Volume 1. This is the book written by Scott Snyder, co-created by Stephen King, and it's got artwork by Sean Murphy and one of the Albuquerques, Raphael Albuquerque. Yeah, he's the one that I really like his artwork. Not to be confused with the other gentleman that draws Letter 44, who I kind of have a hard time getting into his artwork. I was hesitant to get this at first because I know the story's not over. Now, Scott Snyder says he is going to go back and finish out the story. So there should be a second omnibus coming out. I mean, it would be foolish not to release a second omnibus and cash in on the name Scott Snyder and Sean Murphy. I mean, and actually Raphael Albuquerque's artwork is phenomenal too. Let me just flip through here to show you some of the stuff. I wasn't the biggest fan of the comic adaptation of The Stand, or even the beautiful, beautiful Dark Tower, especially those first few volumes drawn by Jay Lee, because I had already read the books, so I didn't see a need to read the comics. But those were okay. This is different. This is an actual unique story by King, and then it's written by Scott Snyder, so I think it's pretty cool. I know nothing of it other than, of course, vampires out in the West, but apparently not just the Wild West. So I'm really anxious to read this. I'll probably read this during my Christmas break this year. And much like Snyder, I happen to like most of his stuff. There's that beautiful, how could I say no to this beautiful, beautiful Sean Murphy artwork? My God. This guy's so amazing. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite artists. Has a nice little mix of manga and Western art to him. A little bit of Mark Silvestri. Top Cow Studios, rather. That's the kind of art he has. At least to me. Next up is the Mario... What the hell is this thing called? Whatever this is, it was very disappointing, at least. This is the limited edition because you get this little question mark, of course, the question mark block from the game. And you then know which cover you ended up with. You could have gotten a mushroom, a fire flower, a 1-up. It's the Super Mario Brothers Encyclopedia. That's what this thing is called. Yes, it's sparkly star. Totally not worth it. Not what I was really looking for in a book. I was expecting so much more of this, which is artwork, right? And I should have known because this is an encyclopedia of the chronological order of the games. And, it's got articles and little tidbits. But most of the time, it's got stuff like this, the actual pixels from the game, and the story of how they came to be, how the original Super Mario Bros. 2 wasn't really Super Mario Bros. 2. I'm going to not regurgitate that story. It's pretty cool that it does have a lot of the Game Boy games in here. Now, I've heard a rumor that they stole a lot of, or did not credit a lot of the original people that wrote this stuff from the Wikipedia entries or something like that. I don't know how much of that is true. I haven't read it. Because as soon as I opened it, I was really disappointed. Because I wanted more art and less video game pixels. So, yeah, you know, I don't know. It definitely not for me, but if you're a huge Super Mario Brothers, like my co-host Rob, then yeah, this is definitely up his alley. I don't know, and the limited edition is totally not worth it. There is a cheaper standard hardcover that I think is only $30, because this damn thing was like $70. And last but certainly not least is a book I read in one day, and this is Deadly Class Volume 2. This is the deluxe hardcover from Image. This is the DCBS variant. It's an exclusive to DCBS, but you can get it at in-stock trades. If you're asking why I went with the variant, I don't know, because I went with the DCBS variant for Volume 1. This is the story of a school of assassins, and oh my god, is this volume... I better not flip too much through here, because it has so many freaking amazing what-the-hell moments in this. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know, Naruto, Harry Potter mixed with Game of Thrones in the way that it has a lot of twists and turns. And they are coming out with a TV series early next year, so I'm excited to see how that goes, because that's produced by the Russo brothers. This is by Rick Remender, and Wes Craig is the artist on this. So, wonderful, beautiful stories, freaking brutal as hell. And it's a bunch of kids that go to an assassin school. And if you haven't read Volume 1, you need to do yourself a favor and read Volume 1. And I know that I said that Gotham Central would be the one book that I would recommend, but no, I stand with my statement. Gotham Central is the one book. But if I had to choose two books, this would be the second one. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, as I was saying, this is Rick Remender's and Wes Craig's Deadly Class. It's always hard for me to choose my favorite Rick Remender book, because they're all great in different ways. But this one is probably my second favorite, right after Fear Agent, for sure. Now, that is everything I picked up for the month of November. I'd love to know what you guys got, so please leave comments down below, or what you plan on getting this month in December. And please don't forget to check out our regular show that comes out every Thursday, and our live show that comes out every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, this was Omar. Thank you very much for watching. And as my dear co-host Amanda says, stay minty, my friends.